Because we're heading into his game 1 to find out who comes up on top and who will be eliminated. This is Team HAQ versus Red ESports.
Red ESports previously was able to secure Game 3 as a comeback against Team SMG with this double fighter side lane comp, taking a page out of Todak's book, but that was still very close and very risky. I do hope they have managed to refine this strategy before bringing it out yet again against Team HAQ.
Yep, and as you can see, Mom is trying his best, trying to zone out Min, trying to scare him off, but Min, he's got the sustain, but fortunately for Ash, he also has the damage to chunk his way through. Man tries to go for a flame shot still, but unfortunately not going to be happening. Ash going to be forced a flicker as well. That's going to be major battle spells being baited out from inside Team HAQ.
Yeah, Ash is actually not going to be able to do... Oh, hold on.
Oh no, Mom might actually die right here. And does he continue? No, he doesn't want to take the risk. But look at Ash and Mom. They're just so threatened as of now. And mid lane control is completely Team HAQ's favor. And that's going to be Mon getting first blood against Ash.
That's not ideal right there for Red ESports. They need this mid lane control. Giving it over to Team HAQ will make it very difficult for Red ESports to commit to roaming around the map. And with two fighters in the side lane, that's what they want to do. They want to be able to be slightly more aggressive towards the early stages. And Team HAQ is just not allowing that to happen.
Oh, Lola was just staring his eyes out all the way through. But Ash, he's going to get chunked down with the blades coming in from Gary. And that is going to be Team HAQ getting another freebie. Abyssum Strikes, just too much to handle level 4. With 10 seconds left on the sides, the turtle is going to be the point of contention. Zaid Hakimi does not have his retribution yet, but he is still on a slight cooldown. They're setting up for the bottom side, but Team HAQ, they're not prepared for this yet, as Lola is only level 3. Meanwhile, bottom side, Red ESports, they're still thinking about whether or not they should go for it right now. And Min is just harassing Zai. He doesn't have the energy, so that's going to be a little bit more damage coming through. But the rest of Red ESports, they are going to be swapping on Min. Do they have the damage? No, they do not, and he will sprint out to safety.
Team HAQ, I'm actually surprised that they are not more aggressively going for the turtle here, because they put a lot of focus into denying Ash, and that has slowed down his level 4 heavily. That Cultivar, a very valuable tool for Red ESports if they want to contest the turtle. So Team HAQ could have definitely contested that a little bit earlier, but they're already feeling very confident at this stage. Gary, 2 levels up on Zai thanks to this constant harassment.
Look at Min, he's just pressuring Zai. He will gladly pay his life for this, but can he get the turtle? No, he will not. He will not get the purple buff, but that is going to be a freebie in hands of Zai. Team HAQ will take the turtle on the bottom side instead. Meanwhile, Team HAQ, they're rotating down to this bottom lane as well. You can see the Spidey senses on the minimap as well. Mao completely dodging the fight, knowing that he does not want to deal with Gary as of now.
Now, Maul on this Phobius is going to be something that we all want to pay a lot of attention to. He played a big role in actually enabling Red ESports' comeback against Team SMG, but he needed a lot of time to actually farm up and come online. But Min...
Min might be in a little bit of trouble. He has to sustain. Zai is struggling to actually finish him off. Here comes the Phobius from Mao. They pop the count out right at the right moment. And Team HAQ, they have to back out. Panda is dodging his way through, but eventually the damage from Frank Hilty will be enough to finish him off. Could not even prop the crossbow of tanks. And that's going to be a big win for Red ESports, taking advantage of the situation.
It does feel like Team HAQ is committed right now to allowing some sacrifice in exchange for more structural damage. It looks like they're focusing a lot of their efforts onto Gary, as now Lola...
Well, Lola, he does have the sustains. They're calling in Min, but where's the damage output as well? Min is going to be knocking Zai on the sides. Lola, while trying to take a fight against Ash, is not going to be able to get any sort of train. So beautiful defense from Team HAQ, but Min is applying the pressure once again, making space for Panda on the bottom side as well as Gary to farm out the cross map. But Lola, he doesn't want to let go the aggression. He wants to continue into this as they try to dive into the purple buff. Min all by himself again, and Red ESports, they're getting cornered across the map.
It looks like what Team HAQ is planning right now is that they recognize the threat of Red ESports' late game. And so, they're just piling on the pressure.
Ooh, that was a little bit close call. Abyssum Strike almost connecting, but Mom will be able to survive. But once again, unsuccessful attempt from Team HAQ, but still, economy-wise, gained a lot from all these skirmishes because Red ESports not going to be able to get any sort of kills. And oh man, He stole the orange buff away from Zayed. You hate to see it. He was trying to bait out retributions, but he stole it. Zayed, however, is going to get caught out. He loses his turtle and he loses his life as well, as Hilda does have the knockback to knock the Ling down. So great pickup coming from Team HAQ. It's working out in their favor as well.
That's going to be quite a big roadblock for Red Esports. They were doing a pretty okay job of dealing with Team HAQ's aggression up until this point, making sure that the net worth gap does not expand too much. But after losing out that red buff, after losing out Zayed as he jumps in to try and steal away the turtle, and now getting Mom as well, Gary is getting hyper farmed.
Yeah, do not underestimate Man. Man does half the damage a little bit more. This Nana is starting to get a little bit scary. Lola, however, completely bullying out the Phobias. They force out the Count Altar, and that's going to be Red Esports forced to disengage, but Lola continuing their pressure as Team HAQ is winning all fronts as of yet, despite how much of an annoyance Min is just setting up and forcing rotations from Red Esports. And Mom now opens up the map, but what can he do? They're pulling in Min. Can he pull him across the tower? No, they cannot. Zayed doesn't have the health or the purple buff to do so. Lola continues their assault as Team HAQ relentlessly pressuring and just denying all the space that Red Esports needs to try and make a comeback into this.
Team HAQ are just completely outperforming Red Esports in terms of macro play right now. Their map control is stellar. The way they're pressuring Red Esports and taking structures through distraction.
Oh, Red QT, he's trying to go in for the Sand Guns, but eventually the damage is a little bit too much. Abyssum Strike just takes away all his armor and eventually chunks him down. Zayed losing his purple buff. He's forced to rotate and play cross-map plays, but he's gonna get caught out. No, Tempest Blade is there. Can he escape? Min looking for the setup. Can they go in for the finish? No, they cannot. So Zayed will escape narrowly, but the pressure is still on as Team HAQ, they force a rotation down bottom, but top side, Lola is just playing all these cross-map plays against this Phobia's Mao. Just could not do anything. He's level 7 as contrast to Lola's level 9 right now.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about, refining this strategy from Red Esports. They're not quite used to this yet, and Team HAQ are taking advantage of that weakness. Red Esports not knowing how to respond to this aggression, and with the many players of Team HAQ slowly scaling up, Lola by himself is already more than enough to pressure Red Esports into their base, and with a 7k net worth lead 7 minutes into the game, we could be looking at a runaway victory for Team HAQ.
Maybe, just maybe, but Zayed, he's trying to get his farm as much as he can. He's gonna get this tier 1 for free, but you can see Min is always making sure he's keeping it in check, and Zayed not having a good time as well. The rest of Red Esports is here to respond, and Min scouts out this rotation, instantly delivers information to the top side. You can see Team HAQ, hey guys, we're not in the bottom side. They are gonna be rotating the top for the purple buff. As long as we take away this away from Zayed, we're all good, and it seems that that's gonna be the strategy for them. Because Red Esports, they're coming in to try and secure this, but looks like they will not be able to do so. Purple buff up on the Nana. And Nana is going to have a little bit more Molina on the floor. And this is where Red Esports, if they take one wrong move, instant wombo combo from Mom would completely shut them out.
Yeah, Team HAQ already had really strong zone control from the start of the game just with the Nana. And since Lola was left alone for so long, he has become another form of allowing Team HAQ to easily zone out their opponents. Looks like we're going to be going into a short pause right now to make sure that we can iron out any technical difficulties. But from the way the game is going, Red Esports, they're really going to be losing out on any opportunity they can to bring this back into their favor.
Well, it's tough. It's tough. It's all about buying time. And Zayed Agimi is trying his best to make a lot of his crossmap plays to actually find some sort of fun. But every single time he does so, there is going to be someone that mirrors up from the side of Team HAQ. It's either Lola on the other side of the map doing the exact same thing that Zayed is doing, and instead of Lola doing the same thing, we do see that Zayed is always going to get pressured by Min, and with Man with the Hilda itself, and because of that, it's just so hard to push out of the lanes, and it's crazy how Team HAQ has just so much presence across the map.
Yeah, we're seeing two very notable extremes of Hilda gameplay just from Team HAQ today. In their game against Orange Esports, once his initial level 1 invade was completely thwarted, Min could do nothing for the rest of the game. But in this case, since Red Esports didn't have enough mid lane pressure with the Matilda and the Fairmist to actually stop Min from invading, even though he wasn't successful in stealing the buff away, him being able to constantly mirror and watch for Gary's movements across the map makes things very difficult and does basically make it impossible for Zayed Hakimi to find space and get farm for himself, because Min, that's his only job. The rest of Team HAQ, they can focus on zoning out. You have Lola, you have Panda split pushing on the other side of the map, and Man and Min just constantly making Red Esports' life hell.
Yeah, that's the thing about Red Esports composition. They want to play a 4 protect 1 strategy, and yes, they're doing it really, really well, but Team HAQ, they understand that if they force a 5v1 this is where Red Esports will shine the best. But if we split off the fights, picking up heroes that individually has some sort of strength to hold out on their own is going to be a little bit better. And you can see time and time again, Team HAQ displaying cross-map plays. They can hold out on their own, and every single time they force a commitment, they back out. And this just gives so much room for Team HAQ to win. And now, with 8k economy in their favor, it seems like this might be a done deal with this Lord push, but Red Esports, they need to make some sort of plays. Zayed tried to go for the cross-map plays. Unfortunately, was forced to recall back to try and defend against this.
Yeah, Red Esports though does have pretty good defense because they have those big 5v5 team fight in the Cult Altar, but Team HAQ instantly engages.
Yep, Lola going for the first engagement, but they going for the burst down. The Cult Altar comes in, immediately gets chunked down. Team HAQ, they're throwing bodies for this, but Zayed Hakimi, they're not getting any sort of kills. Mao is going to be here, going for the chop as well. Panda is trying to go for a side step. He needs the crossbow tanks, unfortunately, does not get the proc in time, and that is going to be Zayed finish him off as Team HAQ overcommitted to this. They get the kill on Esmeralda on top of it all, and this is what we're talking about as well. When they group up as 5, Red is at their strongest, and Team HAQ, they completely disrespected that play.
That was actually just pure disrespect. Team HAQ made a bad decision. We already mentioned, Cult Altar allows Red Esports to have such a strong team fight, and when you have a strong 5v5, you will have a strong high ground defense unless you are dealing with a team that has all lanes pushed in. Team HAQ not only was focusing on mid, but Gary just dived right under the tower. Just a bad choice.
Hyperspace comes in, mid. He needs one chop, but unfortunately, Zai will be able to escape this. Great call coming from Red Esports to actually defend against this, but Team HAQ, it's going to be reset once again. They need to find a way for Panda to actually pop the crossbow tanks, because time and time again, he's been struggling to do so. And pay attention to this, he doesn't have the shoes, going full damage and also auto attack state builds to try and progress with his passive ability, which unfortunately to say, not a big fan of it, but it's necessary. But against the Phobias, I feel like the shoe gives you a little bit more value to walk rather than just skipping around and allowing to get free value shields to proc.
Yeah, actually it is completely normal for 1-1 to just not buy shoes, but I may have to agree with you in this particular specific circumstance. Yes, being able to walk away from the Phobias would be pretty notable, because we have to remember, this is Maul playing on the Phobias. He not only showed us that he could play the hero, he knows 1-1 like the back of his hand and how he can punish Panda. And you can recognize that that is making things a little bit difficult. I'm also worried about Team HAQ's overall mental state, because they are making uncharacteristic mistakes and kind of desperate decisions to attempt to end the game as fast as possible. Yes, they should be afraid of Red Esports' late game, but that is even more reasoning that they cannot afford to make these sort of mistakes.
Oh, Man now just got his Divine Glaive, so we are going to be seeing that big ultimate against the Cult Altar very, very soon. All you got to do is just wait until Red Esports clumps up, drops the big ult, and just completely chunk down the HP bar of the Cult Altar, and they're going to be able to win half the fight for now. But it's going to be very difficult to get those wombo combos if he gets dived on head first. But as of yet, Lord is going to be made out from Gary. You can see it is all about going for a little bit of housekeeping. Bottom lane is still shoved onto his Red Esports side. Do they housekeep or do they force the issue? They need to make a decision. It seems like the decision from Red is to try and contest this. Lord, 50% health. Lola zoning the back line. Zayed ignoring Lola for a bit. Min going to be focusing his check his way through, but Team HAQ, they're backing out. They're going for the concede. They force the count out, but Panda making a run for it as well. He can't seem to proc the crossbow tanks, but Gary, he's getting zoned out from the sides, and that's going to be an easy pick from Red Esports. They sacrifice Red QT. But Panda finally gets the crossbow of tanks. He will be able to do some serious damage, but will he be able to survive? The Winds of Nature clutch coming from Panda keeps him alive to auto-attack Zayt. What a clutch from him, and now the rest of Team HAQ comes up on top, and Panda will survive it all, and now Mom trapped in the Lost Wood all by himself as a roamer, but still has the damage. Panda just doesn't want to risk this because as of yet, Team HAQ, they are aiming for the crystal. Ash is there, they're going for the soul. They're trying to kill him off. Can he survive? The bird comes in. Ash, he will survive with the shield. Oh, that's a close one for Red Esports. But Team HAQ, they will back out for now.
Okay, that was much more characteristic of the Team HAQ we all know and love. At first, it seemed like a bad idea to go for the big 5v5 team fight around the Lord Pit, but they specifically positioned themselves and split up the fight by having Lola jump into the backline so that Red Esports couldn't get that big 5v5 they were looking for, and the clutch crossbow of tank timing turned the fight around for them, but now we might be entering yet another brawl.
Yep, another attempt coming in from Red Esports again. Panda gets the crossbow attacks, procs it out with the cold altar, but Ash immediately gets chunked out, isolated from the rest of the team. Zayt Hakimi nowhere to be found, instead decides to trade off for tier 1s instead and try and steal a purple buff away from Team HAQ. Panda, a little bit unfortunate in the previous engagement. This time, very happy to get the early crossbow attacks against Mom. So nicely done from Team HAQ.
Yeah, remember what I mentioned earlier about Team HAQ making slightly desperate decisions? That is what Red Esports just did. They tried to force it because they won the previous engage.
Gary! Ooh, that was close. Zayt Hakimi, he almost lost his life and he's gonna be forced to back out, but he needs to regenerate his health because the Lord knocking in the middle lane. Team HAQ, do they close it out? Lola already keeping the rest of members of Red Esports in check. Red Esports, they need to make an attempt. Molina has been dropped as of yet. Red Esports need to go for the dodge. They're going for the pull as well. Count Altar also going to be represented. They're going all in, but they're not connecting on anyone. And Team HAQ, they're sidestepping all their fights. And Panda, again, with the crossbow tanks, comes in. They zone out Red QT, but they just don't have the damage. And Red Esports, they're able to prevail to this. Zayt now gonna look to finish off Gary, and he will get the kill. They lose the inhibitors, but they will be able to defend against Team HAQ.
What we can guarantee just from this is that Red Esports has a pretty godly base defense, and Team HAQ are not respecting it. They thought that they could overcome the Cult Altar, and they do actually have enough damage to do so, but it requires them to find the correct angles, the correct initiation points. Red Esports, all they have to do is delay the fight because they are in their base. All they have to do is walk back to the fountain, regen up, and they're basically rejoining the fight from scratch once again. Quite unlucky for Panda because the crossbow of tank connected all on the quicksand guard, meaning that Ren QT basically took all of it and basically came out unscathed.
Oh my goodness, Red Esports, they managed to defend, and for how long can they do so? Because as of yet, they found the solution to deal with Panda, and that is going to be Ren QT. Fantastic job so far, and Team HAQ, once again, back to the drawing board. They need to find a way to deal with the Cult Altar, and so far, it's not working out. They have the damage, but the moment Mon drops his ultimate, you can see everyone from Red Esports is just throwing bodies, knowing that, hey, we've got an upper hand. There's no Molina ultimate. There's nothing they can do about it. And based on the XP advantage, Team HAQ definitely lost out on the trade despite winning the Lord fight.
What I can't help but feel right now, though, is that both these teams do seem to be autopiloting their gameplay a little bit. There's so many options they could go for in terms of varying their potential win conditions. Both sides have a good split push with the Esmeralda, with the Ling, and yet still seem to be 100% committed to diving for these big 5v5s. I can understand it for Red Esports because that is the style of play they have relied on for multiple seasons. But there's no reason that Team HAQ has to force the big team fights when the Cult Altar is still available.
Well, it's all about playing the patient game, and seems like Red Esports, they have exhausted all their patience, and they need to find a way to punish Team HAQ. And once again, Gary is going to be the point of interest coming from Red Esports. Once they shut him down, the majority of the armor shredding is going to be taken out. But as we get Panda, once again, getting died on, he doesn't have the crossbow attacks. He will be focused down. And the rest of Team HAQ going to get completely swarmed out this fight. Mega kill for Team HAQ with Mon shutting him out, but the rest of Red Esports is going to be there. The Lord Storm stops Red Esports in track. Lola trying to finish out the rest of the members, and Red Esports, they're looking to back out and escape this, and it's just not happening. And Team HAQ, they just lost a big trade in this fight.
Okay, that was actually just super unlucky for Red Esports. Not only did they lose Zayed first, so they can't contest the Lord, but Rank Beauty trying to re-engage with his Raging Sandstorm got disrupted by the Lord, but that's not gonna stop them.
Yeah, but you can see Mom completely pulling out Gary. He's trying to pull a member in to try and force him out, but with the Lord down towards the 2-bar, do they get the reset?
The base.
And yes, they will be forced to reset because Red Esports, they're conceding full control, knowing that the base is getting threatened by the minions. Housekeeping hard to execute considering how much pressure Team HAQ is doing to the table. Look at Lola, it's just making it so difficult for it even to secure the purple buff considering that it's 18 minutes into the game. Jungle minions getting a little bit tankier, but as you can see, the Lord setup is going to be prepared as well. They need to secure this if Red Esports wants the bounce back. But again, reset it. Red Esports, they have to make a decision. They have to back out. The base is getting shoved in, and Team HAQ, they're just forcing Red Esports to make a very difficult decision. Do we push? Do we defend? Seems like they have to defend. They finally have to concede the Lord. Mom now drops the Winter Trunk and he will survive. They get the trade on mid. They need to call the rest of Team HAQ. But unfortunately, they have to back out and play it safe. They've got the Lord. And a great takedown coming from Team HAQ.
These teams are playing really stressed right now. You can tell it from their gameplay. This is not them operating at 100%. Red Esports, they had to make a decision. Go for the Lord or defend the base. They tried to achieve the best of both worlds, and that's just not going to work out. But even Team HAQ didn't necessarily need to extend that fight. They already got the Lord. Back off, control the wave, shove them out so you can end the game with this. I don't understand why these players are just butting heads.
Well, seems like they've got to make another attempt as well. Conceal plays coming from Team HAQ. They're looking for a flank from the sides. Gary's still alive. In the midst of it all, he's going to get chain stunned with the Tempest Blade. He needs to force the back out. The Lord will be focused down, but Team HAQ will lose full control. But at the same time, they baited out the Count Altar. This is go time for Team HAQ. Do they want to try to make a play? It seems like they will. It seems like Panda is still deciding what he's going to do. Lola gets the catch on towards the backline. They focus out on Red QT. Mom trying to stop on towards Panda, but Panda, he gets the crossbow attack. He turns the tide against Red Esports. They're going to get mowed down, and that is going to be Team HAQ focusing on the crystal, and they clutch out game 1 against Red Esports. Finally, after 19 minutes into the game.
That was a chaotic first game to start off the series. And Team HAQ, through just pure tenacity, perseverance, and straight up stubbornness, are finally able to break through the base defense of Red